Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening wherever you are. The stream is about to start. Grab your favorite drink. Sit back and relax. You're chilling with Hex Asians. With your host, Crypto Vince, Uncle Kevin Hex, and Middle Class Working Man.
Hex Asians? Nice.
Konnichiwa! Konnichiwa! Emotional damage. Give me sushi!
Namaste Hexicans, Namaste Hexasians to all those people who will be watching this live stream on replay. Please convert your watch speed to 2x. It will be more helpful on your ears. And if you can, let me know in chat what you guys are drinking, or rather in the comment section. Today I am drinking some Zesto Big 250 pineapple drink. Some an adult man drinking kids drink. Hey, sometimes you have to enjoy the smaller things in life, and everything else seems to be falling apart. Yes, I know there is a huge drama going on regarding the EHEX PHEX thing. I will get to it, but let me meanwhile, let me sip some pineapple juice. So, yes, I have one viewer on stream. That's always good to know. And I really don't know where to start. Like yesterday, when I was planning to stream, like I had spoken on a Twitter space for a little while, then on a Telegram chat group for a little while. I was feeling all pumped up, like, yeah, finally the community is coming together. Maybe the differences have been kind of sorted out, or maybe the community has fractured enough that the two parts don't collide. Or maybe I'm just living in my own bubble. But hey, everything was looking great. But a few hours. So I was hoping I could sing Kumbaya on this live stream, so that we can celebrate the community coming together. But the funny thing is, so I was searching for the a good tune to sing Kumbaya to. So of course I have to search YouTube, and I think Google knows me much too well. Like the first video that was suggested to me was from South Park. So I'm going to play that. The audio may uh, turn a bit harsh. A warning for people listening on in their headphones, but uh, it Yeah, I will sing on the golden mic. I finally was able to repair it a little bit, so I will sing, but later. Yes, nice Marcavelli. Nice to see you. Pampet EX, he says. Yes, we will have that discussion a bit later. If you want to join, let me know. I will send you the invite link. Uh, but just to kill a bit of time and for some comedic value, here I go.
Old cats or kazoo? Let's do a little song.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord,
They
kumbaya.
don't think Scuzzlebutt is scary, huh?
Someone's
Let's see
crying,
how they like it
Lord,
when they actually see
kumbaya.
Scuzzlebutt. I'll scare the hell out of them tomorrow.
Someone's crying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya.
Somebody's crying, my lord, Kumbaya. Like, hey, I know I shouldn't be laughing, or maybe I should be laughing. Like, that's the only real way to cope with all the things that are going on. But hey, nobody likes to see their portfolio do a 50% down in a single candle. But hey, it's okay. Like, uh, think I mentioned it. I bought some hex at 30 cents, or was it 40 cents? So, what's a few cents, like a few percent down, a little more, like, सह लेंगे थोड़ा सा और काय which again I wanted to, like, I feel a kind of personally attacked because a few days ago I had posted in Telegram that, oh, the hex chart is looking, uh, e-hex chart is looking mighty fine. Like, it doesn't look dead to me, or rather, no, I had said sarcastically that it looks so dead, which I have to, but uh, now it still doesn't look very dead to me. But everybody is entitled to their opinion. Let me just bring that up a little bit. I'm just trying to. I'm hoping a few more people join. I don't know uh, if anyone will join. Mhm. No, this one. See, it's, the previous site I used. Now I'm very superstitious. Like, because I had to change the website, I had to use for charting. I'm thinking like, oh, maybe that is the reason for the dip. But anyways, we are back at prices that were in January or maybe December 2023. Uh, yeah, if you see, yeah, the Bollinger Band, lower Bollinger Band has been broken. MACD is pointing downwards. Bearish on EX. How low it can go? Will it go to zero? We can't say. Even today, there were more buyers than sellers, and there is 840k liquidity in the pool. That is Now this is the V2 pool, so around 400k in Ether and 400k in here you can see it, 104 Ether, and pooled hex is around 100 million. So yeah, and there are about 180 liquidity providers with one. I don't like tracking wallets, but somebody is providing about 50% of the liquidity. Uh, so as long as there is some liquidity there, there is always going to be a price. Yeah. So sorry, I wasn't looking at the comments. Here's the link to join. Hmm. Oh, oh, so join when you can. I was just looking at the address that is providing liquidity to the E, e hex Ethereum pair on Uniswap, which share this time. This is the address that holds around 1.5 Ether, 1.4 Ether. Hello, my friend Asperger's. How are you? I'll bring you on full screen a little bit later. I'm just showing people that there is some address that holds around 750, no, $720,000 in ERC20s and Ethereum, and he's providing liquidity on the hex ehex pool. So, and I think like the payout for it is also decent, so I don't think he will be removing any liquidity. Let's see how that goes. So yes, please, your mic is muted. You can do share.
Yellow.
Hello. Yes, can hear you.
Yeah, the
Hello.
liquidity was. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, but
Okay.
your mic is a bit low. Let me see if I can increase it at my end. Yeah, just speak. Nice to see Alan joining us. How are you? If you want to join on screen, Alan, I have shared the link in the comments. Oh, what are so? I,
Yeah, that was.
so what do you want to say, Asperger's? I like. I had my own opinions to talk about, but like first I would maybe we share a couple of insights, like similar things. So I would like to.
Yeah, just like what you're pulling up there with the liquidity. Because before this debacle went down, I mean, there. If you went to ethhex.com and you wanted to cash out or put money in, the order book was thicker over there. Like if I was on Pulse X and I was trying to swap around, I would be getting more slippage on Pulse X than on ethhex.com. So I don't know. If it's
So
still like that, it looks like it is. You're still getting a better rate for non-slippage on ETHEX.com than on PulseX. So I was liking that because, I mean, when we do get a bull run, you're going to want to take out more than, $500, and you're going to want a thicker order book, right?
yeah, see, the thing is, uh, there is this hypocrisy. Like, you need a thick order book only when you are actually wanting to sell, or in an emergency. Basically, if you have enough time, then you can just place an limit order and wait for it to be filled. uh, but that itself has its own demerits. Like, when you put a, like, you aren't supposed to put whale size orders or limit orders for everyone to see in the open, especially when your address is being tracked by the entire community. And
Yeah, I
I'm
take it you're
referring to the
referencing the Bank X.
bank. Yeah. So
So yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So that's probably somebody not I can't imagine they're that dumb with that much amount of money that they would just be like, oh yeah, here's my cards, here's what I want to sell at, here's my limit order for the whole world to see. And then that, as soon as that goes up, Richard just says screw all of it. Like, how
So,
many days later was it after that sell wall was up that he just like, oh yeah, hex isn't
yeah.
the
See,
real hex anymore or whatever. It's hilarious.
see, look, now I take Richard's advice very seriously. So yeah, I am going to speak controversially, but the thing is, yes, there is a huge amount of hero worship in the hex community. So whatever Richard Hart says is, some take it like a, what you call, a line in stone. But sometimes, like, I try to see nuances or flaws in the logic. Like, first of all, like, past 8 months, like, isn't it like 8 months, right? For from Pulsion launch, like, it took you 8 months to decide, like,
Yeah.
that yeah, yeah, PX is the final play. Or, okay, maybe initially on day one you could not decide, but when you saw the whole community fighting or splitting up because of the EX PX debate, maybe at that time, if you had done s- s- some commenting, or a, I would say, a better message put out, like, yeah, everybody should be doing going on to PX, like, maybe, it would have been handled better. But see, from my experience so far, like, the whole Pulse chain as well as Pulse X hasn't been handled very well. Like, like, now you can say, like, I rarely go on rants, but like, because maybe I've grown up like that, passive aggressive. I made so I don't really speak out as much, but like, from everything seems uh, wrong in retrospect. Like, first thing, oh, yeah, we want to incentivize big players to buy in, give them greater discounts because whales don't have to sell as the pleb, retail investors. Yeah, what did happen? The South is dropping bombs on Persian every few months. Uh, then, of course, there was the Pulsex V1 V2 thing, which, by the way, also kind of reminded me. Yeah, maybe you didn't. want to decide on EX versus PX, then why did you incentivize people pooling liquidity on the EX pools? Like it oh, Pepperidge Farm remembers like there was EX PX liquidity pool, sorry, EX liquidity pool where you could be farming incentive token. Then there was also some, I think, the hex EX pulse pool where you could farm for um, ink tokens for a few days. Now that again, who decided which pools get incentivized, oh, for how, when they are going to start to being productive, when they are going to stop? No foreshadowing, no warning, anything. Like, yeah, like yeah, I know, the eco builder always talks about what a benevolent dictator. No, I disagree. Like, there is no such thing as a benevolent dictator. Either there is a benevolent person or there is a dictator. You cannot have both. Now, just a sec. Hey, Tin Top, nice to see you. One of them. Uh, um, yeah, we have to always greet chat. I feel it is kind of therapeutic to me. So where was I? Yes. So that thing again. Uh, then of course, look. Oh, my thing. I think I like my strategy, or what I put out was clear. If you are going to buy new hex with new money, or fiat converting into uh, hex, then of course you can. The best option is to buy pulse and convert it into p hex. Like, but that applies if you are able to access pulse chain or buy pulse chain directly using fiat. India, like, things in India are messed up regarding crypto. I still haven't been able to find a good exchange where I can cash in or cash out. And there are, I'm still getting like messages what to do. And like I with I just show like people are still saying, oh my god, I should have put in like I did have like 10 minutes. Hey, I have Alan Fizame joining in. uh,
Dr. Moore, Asperger's.
Alan.
Hello, Alan. Yeah, I think this is the only, like, the first time, or maybe the second time we are speaking on stream. Like,
Yeah, I wasn't Asian enough before, so
it's okay.
I guess I am now.
It's okay as long as you identify as Asian, which you can change fluidly. I'm okay with. Look, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. Don't let me interrupt the flow, by all means.
No, yeah, the thing is, I don't have a flow. Like, I have a, what you call, a splatter. Speak random things at random times. And hope they make sense. But what now? I'm kind of forgetting what. Yeah, there is only one. Yeah, Tintop. Thank you for reminding me. There is only one authorized crypto exchange in India. No, even that one is kind of iffy. And the last two, like, man, people, there are people say like Indian scammers, but, and I feel bad like about it, but yeah, there are scammers everywhere, in India especially. And people say like Indian scammers are targeting Americans or American boomers, but No, it's not the case. They target everyone. It's just that the boomers get tricked more easily. But and I got like last time. Uh, that is another grievance I had with the community. We had the third largest exchange in Asia, OKX, that was supporting Pulse Chain, and it was kind of working well, like, but no, like, yeah,
When you say
he,
supporting Pulse Chain, does that mean you're able to take funds in and off Pulse
yeah,
Chain without going through Ethereum? You didn't have to go to Ethereum to do it?
yeah, yeah,
Holy moly.
exactly. It was, and no, but we have community our community members have started exchanges and wallets, and people want to buy, which are decentralized, no KYC and whatnot, but they wanted to so nobody used OKX, and of course if there isn't volume, why would they not? And it's okay if there is minimum volume, the exchange still continues to keep the coin, but on top of that, people shit talk like OKX is centralized, it's the blah blah. Uh, why would they like support Pulsion now? So now we don't have any, and the last time I think like it was one of the last exchanges that like Binance got kind of kicked out of India. And they themselves have stopped uh, supporting withdrawals, even on P2P. That is a different thing. OKX P2P was also available, but on that, I suggested a guy that yeah, use OKX P2P to withdraw, and of course he met up with a scam. Like the person selling him crypto was a scammer. He wanted his KYC documents, and luckily his Indians like have experienced this. So crypto, like he was like, hey, do we have to do this? I'm like, no, don't send him any documents. And luckily he didn't get scammed. He was able to withdraw the crypto via like the OKX have their escrow service, so no money lost. But like this kind of experience is not for an average user. Like,
Yeah.
so it's crazy. So I will keep quiet. Alan, can you give some advice? Talk a little bit in French. I like to
I know zero
listen
French.
to French.
You should have a luck, sir. I know zero French. I speak Spanish. That's about it. And I kind of half-assed the
Eh,
English. Yeah.
ah,
So,
so habla español.
habla español? Sí, señor. Mucho español. Oh, man. So I heard you guys
Sorry.
talking about the whole EHEX, BHEX thing, right? I actually have an onboard who have been accumulating a decent amount of EHEX, although he's been also getting the PHEX 50-50. And he had about 6 or 7 million EHEX that he was about to stake on Ethereum. That's not going to happen anymore, unfortunately. So he swapped out everything. I told him, I was like, just do what you got to do. But don't feel bad if things turn around in the future. I was like, it's a calculated risk that you had to make. And if you didn't understand that going in, I think that's where we're seeing a lot of the people sort of flailing and getting upset. I knew it was a risk the entire time. So, I'm okay with my decision. So I think that's where we're seeing a lot of the riffraff from people holding the EHACs and getting their feelings hurt. It's like, hey, you knew what you were getting. You knew that there was a reason this entire chain existed.
Mhm.
You know, if it happens, it happens. I just didn't expect it to happen the way that it did. I didn't expect it to come from Richard himself. It's an odd way of doing it, but extremely effective. So I'm really curious to see what happens in the next 6 to 7 months. Just because whether ETH fixes the gas fees or not, there's a lot of people, especially older hexicans or people who aren't necessarily hexicans, that did believe in the product on the Ethereum side, that sort of forewent the Pulse chain side. They're like, oh, I got copies, that's cool, but didn't necessarily count that as something to be adding to. They just remain on one chain. So I'm really curious to see how that plays out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I remember that meme, like, oh, the risk I took was calculated, but damn, I'm bad at math. Kind of. Look,
It still hurts.
it
It still hurts. Let's not say anything, because it definitely hurt. When I saw it happen, I'm like, oh man, I saw the thing just drop 60%. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. It's all still on my side. It's all staked, for the most part. And the little baby bag that I had, I was like, okay, I was going to use it for liquidity providing between EHEX and PHEX and just kind of collect the two. But now I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to let it hang out. But it definitely hurt. I mean, that definitely was like a punch in the gut. When I saw that tweet, I was like, oh no, what's going to happen? And then we saw all the EES happen, like one after another.
Yeah.
Just like bang, 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 bang.
So what's going to happen when sharding does come out and the Ethereum chain solves their gas prices? What, I mean, Richard's just going to be like, I guess EHEX is good again.
Well, yeah, I feel you on that. So yeah, you got to look at it a different ways, right? That's one way to look at it. I thought about it for a bit, and I contacted a couple of people who I've been listening to for the past 3.5 years, and only one of them was able to provide some pretty good perspective on it. And it's sort of, the guy wants his chain to succeed.
Yeah, he's
wildly
biased.
Yeah,
and to come out and say like he's speaking for the truth and honesty is a little silly.
Yes, and so I thought about that too, and I'm thinking, okay, this is maybe not a 5D chess move. Maybe the Richard's like, you know what, screw it, like that's done with. I'm not supporting it. I'm not buying it up. If you guys want it to succeed, do it on your own. Waste your money. I'd rather see that money that you're going to spend on gas fees, sent over to the Pulse chain.
Yeah, to send money over though is a bridge fee, which is larger than a swap fee. And then if you want to take money off, it's another bridge fee, which is larger than a swap fee, which 100%. Is a fuck ton of money. A swap itself right now is ridiculous. And I haven't even had the balls to do a bridge fee, because I know it's going to be 70 to 90 to 100 to 120. Like, it's going to be ridiculous to do a bridge. So it's 100%. Just like, so people that are new and they're new to crypto, you want new money coming in, and you want them to spend $100+ doing a bridge fee when they could do a swap for half the price, probably, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and that's to expect them not to want to take money out and have to pay another bridge fee. I mean, it was news to me that D-Raj was saying, he OKX or whatever he was saying with that you could go, that it was accepting Pulse chain, but my exchange doesn't accept Pulse chain. I have to bridge anytime I want to take money out. So you have to pay $70 to $90 to take money out. People don't take money out.
Right.
And and that's just cool. Like, you're going to save people from gas fees. Yet if they want to take money out, it's a larger fee to bridge than it is to swap.
Right.
So who's saving on gas fees?
Yeah, and I think that's the only real way that he could potentially mask this entire thing that he wanted to happen because it to some degree it doesn't make sense, right?
It
And
makes no
another,
sense.
yeah, and it depends where you are in the world too, because there are people who have access to Binance, right? And you are taking some risk. I know that Spark Swap, you can go, and I've done it. You go from BNB directly to Pulse, so I could have BNB. I chose to get BUSD. I think no, it was DAI on Binance, and then I swapped that directly onto Pulse. So it was like minimal fees. However, it really depends where you are in the world to do that. And if your only option is Ethereum, then yeah, you're kind of screwed one way or another.
Extremely screwed.
Yeah, and yeah, it makes you think a lot harder how to deploy your capital. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, again, I think what I saw in my mind is the amount of people that had liquid hex was a high amount on the Ethereum side, and that 60% drop was sort of like just get rid of those people who were going to dump on the way up anyway. He probably doesn't feel like he needs to pump eHex through that. Was it the bank hex wall that people keep talking about? That he's just going to be throwing money into it too. So at the end, what happens, right? All the people who got fudded out of the eHex, whether for better or worse, those are going to be the people who are actually going to believe, right? They're either staked or they're like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to stick to this anyway. I think it's a good play. So it's going to be people who are really committed to that chain or to that particular product. And you get rid of a lot of the people who would have sold anyway. So he just basically, in my mind, this just sort of expedites what was going to happen eventually. Instead of a slow bleed, it just happened in a flash.
But did it? Did anything happen with the BankX wallet? Did they?
No, not yet. No, that's not going to be immediate. I think they need to see themselves like 2-3 months. That's why I said I want to see what happens in 6 months, because is BankX really going to wait the entire bull market to be like, you know what, screw this? They're, at some point they're going to have to make a decision, or they're going to basically, if that's the main reason Richard did it, then forever that's going to be either the community choose through it on their own and then he re-enters the market if he chooses to, or he just leaves it there and then that's that, then that's the end of it, and it'll just be at that price for a long ass time. Maybe, but it's all speculation. I mean, this is whatever, and I didn't touch anything. I'm just like, all right, it is what it is. If it comes back, it comes back. I got copies, but not everyone is in the same, boat. And I took that risk whenever I was buying eHex too, and I knew it. I was like, hope it works out. Hope it works out. Still hurts.
Look, see, the thing is, I don't give in to this high gas fee argument, mainly because there are other chains which are cheaper. If that is the only argument, that if you want that the transacting or staking hex is expensive on Ethereum, then Ethereum POW, again, your hex got copied over there as well, and it's even cheaper than Pulse chain. But the thing is, these things are like staking on Pulse chain currently is only cheap because Pulse chain is cheap right now. If that price goes to $1, even like we will be seeing the same problem as on Ethereum.
Right.
Maybe people who have assuming that the fees are going to stay low, like maybe they have done some short stakes, like
I mean, it probably won't happen. It probably wouldn't happen that soon, but I mean, say the the price does go up on Pulse chain, and if they don't have any other way to do it, which they could probably just do whatever the heck they want to make the prices lower. Same with Ethereum. They pretend like it's some tricky thing and the price affects anything. It's like, no, they can set the gas price to whatever they want. They're just it's manipulated bullshit. So, I mean, even if Pulse went up, like they could set the price, they could set the gas fee to whatever they want. Or they fork the chain again, and everyone that staked on Pulse chain gets a punch to the fucking gut for staking on Pulse chain. And 100%. You get to play this hourglass game for the rest of your fucking life when you made a 15-year investment, hoping to just sit back and chill. and then you got all this stupid stuff going on, which ultimately it's whatever. You know, you build a staking ladder, you're fine, but it's just silly. But I guess people like silly games.
See, it just look. I'm not a blockchain developer, but I just know enough to be dangerous. But and the thing is, in terms of gas, like the amount that is calculated per transaction, Pulsion is a copy of Ethereum, so there isn't like the S load function on Ethereum is the same as that on Pulsion. And I am saying this. I haven't really seen the code, but I know that if it was like, oh, Richard decided to decrease the S load function for Pulsion, he would be shouting off of rooftops about it. Like, yeah, Pulsion is cheaper because of this, but he hasn't done that. And
And
from what I have seen of the code, nothing I don't see any differences with. But with Ethereum, like at least we know they are trying to reduce the gas fees, and this is the thing. Like, you want to complain about gas fees just 2 days before the upgrade that tries to solve gas fees is going live. I
is that
don't get.
happening soon?
Yeah, the it's called the Denkun. It is the combine, like it was supposed to happen couple of months ago. It was the Cancun fork, CACUN, and but they decided to add one more feature, and the next one was supposed to be Deneb, DENEB. So instead of doing two separate hard forks, rather soft forks, they are deciding to combine them together,
What chain is
called
that?
Denkun, which is it is Ethereum upgrade. The last one was Shanghai. After I had to search is like what they
So
are
that
basically doing.
that is Ethereum.
I asked Chat GPT to explain me, like I was a high school student, to what the Ethereum upgrade actually does. So
Yeah.
in Chat GPT terms, like imagine if Ethereum is a highway, the upgrade adds a what to call specialized lane or carpool lane, which is helps increases the traffic flow, so it
Yeah.
reduces the traffic overall. But the thing, see, whether it will solve the gas fee prices problem is still to know known. Like, we know from what happens when you add a extra lane on a highway for a few days, the traffic will be low, but again there is increased demand, or rather, like people there is more cars adding take take to driving. So similar thing is likely to happen. The gas fees may decrease for a little while, but increase again.
Yeah.
And by the way, like 79 Gui is nothing. Like I remember, oh, still remember the NFT bubble. The prices were like 100, 200. I think sometime I saw 1300 gas
Yeah.
for
There's
minting.
spikes, that's for sure.
Yeah, spikes. Like, so
But
my
say with
sorry.
you know how we were waiting for Pulse Chain to come out, and it was like a good thing that we waited because Ethereum made an update to their chain that if we would have forked earlier, we would have been at a disadvantage because we wouldn't have been able to do updates to go along with the Ethereum chain's updates. So imagine Ethereum doing an update that Pulse Chain can't keep up with, because their devs are better than the Pulse Chain devs, because Pulse Chain had to wait on Ethereum and got lucky, more or less, that they did wait because Ethereum made an update that they needed before the fork.
The thing is, better devs, it's a how do you compare is a different issue, but they definitely have more developers, so they will likely win because of sheer mass, like no, a more number of devs. So yeah, Persian will always be keeping trying to keep up with the updates. Even I think this one, uh, but I don't think it will be that difficult. It's just we had to wait because yeah, they decided midway that like delegated staking is not as good as individual validators.
Yeah, I'm not a dev.
So
I wouldn't
that was
know.
one
I
of the, I
wouldn't
think
know.
was the main one of the main
But that,
reasons. Like
yeah, it sounds like a
ah,
bunch of
look, the
fancy
thing.
garblegook. Like they're appeasing the people that are running the miners, the machines to do the processing. They're appeasing them, and it's just who they choose to appease.
Yeah.
So
It's all about the money.
yeah.
End of
I
the
mean,
day.
there's all these fancy words to say things like, oh yeah, something technical is going on. There's nothing technical. I mean, yeah, supposedly, this is a new technology, but I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, they're just making transactions on the internet. Like, give me a break. And they're paying people to keep up the network, and they're paying them accordingly. I mean, if there's people that can shut down networks, which I mean, oh yeah, doesn't exist, whatever. That's a imaginary horrible. Give me a break. Like, there's people that can shut down anything they want, and it's a money game, and they just want to. They just want to pay who they want to pay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're not
and
wrong.
but the thing is, so previously they were trying to fork Binance chain, and they like copy Binance chain, but yeah, even now Binance chain is working fine. It's yeah, because Binance token has increased in value, it's a bit more expensive, but it's still like you can still transact normally on Binance chain. So I didn't see any problem. And the thing, like we were saying, people were willing to pay 16 1200 gas fees at the peak, trying to buy JPEGs. Like I don't think anybody would have had a problem, or rather anyone was actually having problem buying EHEX and staking it. Yeah, it's only the big stakes which were coming out. Yeah, the gas fees kind of dug into the profit, but
Yeah, but
it
everyone
was
that
still
went through
like
the bull market knew what Gwei was, so you make stakes accordingly. Like the people that never
yeah.
experienced the bull market is a select few of people that don't understand that gas fee is expensive. But I mean, you don't do small stakes. You learn that pretty quick. So
Yeah.
what?
And by the way, if you like don't want to do small stakes, or now we have options of pooled stakes, and rather we have had this option of pooled
Yeah.
stakes. So there are options wherever are like yeah. So at the end of the day, everywhere like I should we consider it market manipulation? I don't like. It's like everybody was looking for a reason. Those who had a liquid hex were looking for a opportunity to sell where they can and blame it on something else. They were going. maybe it's a good thing they got out at this price. I still hold, like, if I said this even like a couple of weeks ago. Like, if this had happened a couple of weeks ago, I wouldn't have unstaked a stake. I had a, like, there was a small stake which was like kind of evening out. If I it was bleeding out, and if I unstaked it, it would have like so it was costing about $100 to unstake, and the payout I was getting was about $100 total. So it, I considered it as like, yeah, I'm buying Hex with Ethereum and staked. I wouldn't have done that. And now looking at the price, I feel more regret. It's, I think, at the end of the day, I feel it's just that the price is going down. Seeing your portfolio go down is why people are hurting and people are crying out, even me. Like, but it is what it is. I saw only three live streams with influencers talking about this. One was with Hexo, one was with uh, Wales only, and the third one was the Crypto Wonder podcast just a little while ago. Yeah, I see the whole market sentiment through that, but I like I have said this, like, we are at the start of the bull market. The real top will come about uh, around 6 months to an year after the halvening. So till then, I'm not going to sell anything, whatever. I'm going to die on this hill. I will hodl till it goes to zero. Uh,
Yeah.
that's just me.
And at the beginning of the bull market, you can get the same amount of T-shares for, what is that, a fourth or a fifth of the price if you buy it on eHex and stake it. If you have a long-term mind frame, you're going to get 4 to 5 times as many T-shares for the same dollar amount right now. If you care about T-shares, if that's relevant to people. I thought time was an important factor that you can't get back. And if you can get 4 times, 5 times as much time for your money right now on Ethereum, I would say that's a pretty good deal. But who knows? You might have someone send it to zero for some reason.
And I'll be right there to buy it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, yeah.
That was the thing.
I hope that happens, to be honest with you. I really do hope that happens.
I was praying for this price point, and it's like so iffy. Like, it's just like,
yeah,
it's so hard not to, it's like, you're not gonna buy at this price point. It's like,
yeah, you got to take a punt, and that I saw eHex so cheap that I couldn't stop myself.
Yeah,
I was like, I wanted this in the bull market because I went in hard. I mean, hard to, by my estimations, to my abilities, of course, at the very top of the Hex price during the last bull run. And it hurt to see people buy my top bag where I went in for like $400. And I was like, I'm not letting people do this to me. I was like, I spent 30 grand up here. I'm not going to let somebody buy my bag for like $500.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was hard.
When you see hundreds of thousands of Hex for that cheap, it's just like, wait a minute. I got copies of this stuff that's worth 4 to 5 times as much as this other stuff, and I can stake it and get T-shares the same. It's just like, well, in a long-term mind frame, what? Like, this is a no-brainer. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, for sure. And the other thing to consider too, I was talking to somebody else yesterday that reached out to me, and the perpetuals, Maxi, Desi, all of that. What does that do to those huge stakes that are out, 7, 10, 15 years? So that's why there's just and I know those got copied over, However, people were accumulating a lot of those liquid tokens to redeem them for, their shares at the end of their stakes, or just sell them at a premium on the way up. So I'm wondering what'll happen to those as well. And I know that, at least from what I've read, was it Tantanomi, the guy who came up with that, the perpetuals, that he wasn't him, and I think some other person. Yeah, Dipcatcher.
I thought Dipcatcher is Tetiomi.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, Dipcatcher. He there was some riffraff back and forth that the T-share didn't necessarily help support the price of Hex and all of that, and it was just funny because he came up with one of what I think is a pretty great contract for a lot of people that solved a decent amount of the gas issues for Hex stakers. Granted, you couldn't do, whatever you wanted as far as period of time. You had to choose between, the 1 year, 3 years, 7, 10, and 15. But I thought that was a great way to do it.
Yeah. How does that gas fee get paid at the end?
There's no expectations of someone ending the stake.
Okay.
Wink, wink.
So it might not get ended, but it would be because
Yeah. Anyone can go in and end it. Anyone can go in and end it. But because it's such a large stake that's going to be in the hundreds of thousands. I think by the time the 15 years ones, if ETH is at an astronomical price, and for some stupid reason the gas fees haven't been fixed on Ethereum.
Yeah, which is just completely insane to think that Ethereum is just going to make their chain forever inusable because of its popularity. They're just going to fail because they got too popular. Sorry, we didn't think it through. We never thought we would get popular. So our chain's inusable.
and it's always going to be a bias. Oh, Tintop, yes, Gold Key, thank you. But it's always going to be a bias, right? Because by the time we get to expensive gas fees, let's say Pulse hits $1, right, or even 50 cents, and I'm seeing gas transactions yesterday upwards of 17,000 Pulse per transaction.
Oh yeah,
and that's not to say that they can't go ahead and
my
change
shit
that.
Failed.
And your shit failed.
And my transaction failed for 2,000 Pulse.
Yeah. Tin Top. I was definitely there buying the Desi dips, man. I'm still holding on to that. I mean, it's just the T-shares that come with that are insane.
I'm just worried about that the liquidity trading in and out of there. You almost have to be thinking like, oh yeah, I'm buying this to hold it for the duration.
Yes,
otherwise
100%.
If you want to get in and out of there, the slippage is a little.
It's insane. So yeah, and that's the conversation I had with this particular person. I was like, listen, I got rid of the USD value out of my mind a long time ago with these things, especially with X. I was like, I can't think of it that way because you're going to get wrecked. You can't move 100,000 Deci without spiking up the chart. You know what I mean? Like you have to be super careful. I was like, so if you're just buying it, just nibble at it, and you're going to have to think about just getting your Hex share at the end of it. You have to kind of commit. They were really worried about that. I was like, yeah, I mean, maybe in the future somebody puts up more liquidity, or you could put up liquidity yourself if you have a decent amount, and maybe exit. If we have V3 on PulseX by that point, you can go ahead and do that. But for now, it's like you just got to think about the ratios, and that's been really hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, if you're planning to hold for the duration, those things, I mean, you can't go back in time and get that T-share rate. So it's just crazy. I haven't personally done it because I don't like the idea of slippage that much. So
my intention personally was to just hold these things until they came due. Yeah, that was my whole intent the entire time. I don't see myself trying to trade this in the future, even if there's a lot of liquidity.
Yeah, and that's the same thing with like HSI auction stakes. People have been getting crazy deals on those. And again, that's a ratio game for people, and it's a little more technical than sending. I mean, you can even I think get Hex on Coinbase with a wallet on Coinbase. So to just be able to buy in a one-stop shop and not be too technical. I mean,
I think they stopped it. I think they have, like, it was, I think, through their wallet. You place an order and it executes on Ethereum on your behalf. But now I think they have stopped it. And look, this slippage thing, yeah, you, if you are like, you see all the wheels buy in single candle wicks and sell in single candle wicks. So really, there is no issue with slippage. Yeah, you can you do better execution of orders? Yes, I even talked about it. Like, yeah, there is something as a step up kind of value. Don't put all your liquidity at a single level, like spread it out, kind of things. Yeah. But this is maybe why I feel like, okay, like most people, I don't think people listen to me.
Oh,
That's
we
why
listen to you.
like, listen, like, yeah, I many people hear me out. I don't think people listen to me and take financial decisions on based on what I am saying. So even if, like, so I feel kind of okay with, like, it was I didn't cause financial harm to anyone. At least this is me rationalizing everything. So it's kind of crazy. But hey,
Doesn't that?
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying hi to Parley from far away. Long time no see.
Ah. So
Yeah,
there was a
and
tweet.
yeah,
Parlay.
sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah,
what?
really, really, really quick. There was a tweet from Alex from Hedron.
Oh yeah, that was another thing I wanted to talk about.
Because although we didn't have any solid indication that eHex on Pulse would have been stakeable through his new protocol or update that he was going to do, I'm looking for the tweet now, but he indicated in his latest tweet that this changed a few things for the protocol, which I think affects the eHedron and eICOSA on Pulse chain, because it was being, according to what he had put on his Telegram, they were going to be treated the same as far as just units of account, regardless of price. So it was beneficial to have to buy, if you were buying these, to accumulate the lower price one, regardless of which one it was, as long as it was on the Pulse chain side, whether bridged in or just purchased on that side. And I don't know how much this changes that, but I think we're going to see, if it hasn't happened already, people speculating that the E side of those tokens are going to be probably just worth less or just not going to be counted at all.
What?
That's what I'm thinking. A lot of people will have that thought,
Yeah.
because what kind of changes? I'm looking for that tweet because I don't want to misquote him.
So so from what I remember him saying, you would be able to buy the HSIs in auctions with either of the hedrons, and they will be treated equal. So, and I think even now, like, hedron price, hedron versus p hedron price is almost 1:1. So
Huh? What?
so you can
Incentivizing something like that.
uh, yeah. So you could have so the new auction house for hedron would, or rather I could, yeah, on hedron you could buy either of the stakes using either of the tokens. So that is what I remember. So what, how this will change everything, or what is his plan regarding anything, like, I think the contract was already going into audit. I assume they got some findings which are they are trying to polish polish up. So
I assume that because he was able to make HSI stakes, which people thought would be impossible, that you would be able to move a stake around was impossible in people's minds in the past. And somehow a miracle stepped out of the sky and Alex came and said, oh, you're going to be able to encapsulate your stakes now, something we deemed impossible but a week ago or something. You know, I think since he was able to do that, I don't know, maybe he's going to be able to encapsulate eHex and you're going to be able to stake that on Pulse Chain.
Yep.
Maybe that's a possible thing in the future. And this bullshit.
Yep. So
gas fees.
he tweeted after that. So his initial tweet was a quote, a retweet quote from Richard's initial message out regarding eHex. And it sort of said, oh, this is going to change a lot of things. Then he tweeted again hours after, and he put his own opinion and perspective on it, basically saying, you know, this actually won't change anything. How about we just tell people, if you have token A, bring it over to our sandbox and play here. Yeah. And maybe somebody builds something essentially saying, maybe it doesn't have the same utility as it does on Ethereum or that Hex has on Pulse Chain, which is stake and get T-shares, but it has another utility. So he's actually, it says eHex should exist. eHex mining should be replaced or superseded by better utility on Pulse Chain than Ethereum. Even if that utility is not as good as Hex utility on Pulse Chain, as long as it has a better utility than eHex on Ethereum, it's a win. So yeah, nothing changes, it looks like.
Utility. He's
basically implying you're going to be able to do something with your bridged over eHex on the Pulse Chain side on his new protocol.
On his protocol with eHex specifically? Yep. Why the fuck would he care about eHex? Why wouldn't he be talking about like eHedron or something?
Well, yeah, he goes down and people keep asking, did anything change with eICOSA and eHedron? He goes, no, nothing has changed as of this moment. So it remains the same where regardless if you hold eHedron or eICOSA, it's going to have the same value, not dollar-wise, but towards the protocol when you're buying HSIs or HMIs.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, because the initial tweet sort of threw me. I was like, oh, he's going to change something. Because his initial tweet basically alluded to the fact that things were going to change in his protocol now, which meant, to me, where a lot of people were like, oh, I think he's not going to support the E side of these tokens in his new protocol, even if it is on the Pulse Chain side. But then he sent another tweet with all this information. So I guess nothing really changes. And he's a huge proponent of having eHex having some sort of utility somewhere.
That's very interesting.
That's awesome.
I'll have to read through that some more. But
yeah, I'll post a tweet on the chat.
Nice. But yeah, I would think that he would want you to be able to bridge over your eHedron somehow, or have a way. I mean, because you can't even mint your eHedron really. It's like pointless in a lot of occasions. So I don't know if he's planning on solving that in any way. I mean, you got your fork. I mean, I love minting on Pulse Chain Hedron, but I mean, you can't mint it on Ethereum. It's a wash most of the time. But I don't know if he's spoken on a way around that at all.
Yep, there it is.
And then to be able to, what was it? Oh, I'm losing thought. I'm going to read this. Oh, you pulled it up. Okay. How long ago was this?
That was 9 hours ago.
9 hours ago. Should we read it out loud for the viewers?
Yeah, someone with good reading skills should do that.
I can read.
Perfect.
eHex is a foot in the door. It is the thing that is most known with the easiest access to the most people. Imagine that. Are we to be an island instead of questioning A is worse than B? Why buy A? Should we not be saying Hey, you have some A. Did you know you can bring it over to our sandbox and gain benefits X, Y, and Z? Why not give A some niche utility in the new sandbox? Entice the transition. E-hex and hex are not the same thing, never will be. It is okay for that to be the case. One may perform better than the other. I think we all know which one has the better properties. But to lose former is to lose a foot in the door. It's the most pulse chain accessible thing not on pulse chain. Perhaps we saw major pulse liquidity across the bridge that would be different, but we don't. It doesn't make any sense to do that, and I don't think anyone will majorly support doing it. Regardless of price, eHex is that thing. It can suck comparatively to be majority bridged away from its native chain. In that case, it's no different than an ink of sorts. Anyone can add utility to it if they wish. The only real argument for its demise is perhaps there are some people with large bags. We don't want having large bags. So as devs, we simply must make whatever utility we form around it primarily benefit the superior blockchain. My 2C anyways. Yep.
Yeah, and if you scroll down to that, then he talks about potentially providing the utility for eHex right there.
His comments?
Yep, right up a little bit further up. Yep, right there.
eHex should exist. eHex mining should be replaced or superseded by better utility on Pulse Chain than on Ethereum. eHex should exist. eHex mining should be replaced or superseded. So he's talking about being able to encapsulate your eHex and stake on Pulse Chain. That's what I would assume he's implying, but maybe, it could be something else. But that seems well implied in my brain.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So,
yeah.
like I said, I mean, I'm not getting rid of my bag. If I can do something with it on Pulse Chain, with lower fees.
Especially when a tweet can send something 70% in a direction, and people can update their worldviews on a fucking feather up their ass.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
oh my god.
The best thing to do is just buy and hold and let things be. Unless Richard literally came out and said, I'm burning all my coins or I'm selling it down to zero, which he's not going to do until that happens, which is not.
If he burned all his coins, that would send the fucking price to the moon.
Yeah, probably. So, people will buy it up.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the biggest buy and burn of all time. So, I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, he doesn't necessarily own X amount of whatever tokens. So, whatever. Yeah. He didn't say light your eHex on fire.
No, he did not.
He just said this other chain is where I want you to be focusing your attention on, because this is where I want you to be focusing your attention. So for whatever reason that is.
Yep.
Apparently it's for everyone's own good to save on gas fees, even though it's not helping me that much with the bridge gas fee.
Yeah. It's going to get insane on Ethereum.
You're not going to be able to take money out. It's going to cost you $250, $300, $400 if you want to bridge. You're going to have to bridge back across and pay a bigger gas fee. So if you want to take money out, you're going to be paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So if you're going to bridge money across and it's only a small amount of money, you're fucked. Unless you think you're going to do it 1,000x or 10,000x on, your $200 coming across the bridge, then maybe you can afford to spend $400 at the bull market to bridge across. Good luck.
So,
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out when you said that, like, you update your worldview. Yes, it's always good to update your worldview when there is new information that is valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there,
What's changed in the last 8 months
yeah, if
since Pulse
something
Chain's been
changed,
out?
and if nothing has changed, then you're just flip flopping and using like, so yeah,
You're
and
not
like,
wrong.
yeah,
But
and
things are about to change. There's an update to the Ethereum chain coming up, and you've got Alex basically insinuating. I mean, I don't know terminology, words that would benefit me when saying this, but it sounds like things are looking like you're going to be to encapsulate eHex on Pulse Chain. So where are the coping points when that happens? And gas staking and unstaking is pointless to even
yeah,
mention.
the no, but the thing is, uh, it will only be more gas intensive, which may not again be in favor of things, because there is this very kind of what you call imaginary horrible, that the calculation of the gas for end staking may kind of be so large that it cannot be included in a single block. Now that is a valid scenario, like, and when that's another thing, like, when you learn a little bit about or read about coding, like, yeah, Richard says that, oh, our contract has been optimized for gas with uh, what you call the bitwise shift, etc., so it is very efficient. Yes, but the whole t-shirt calculation thing, like, which is dependent on reading all the data and computing so much things, it's not really that efficient.
And
So
fitting it on a block size, on a block.
yeah, like, yeah, so again, it's a kind of a rare possibility, though it did occur to one protocol. I think it was called Argus or something similar, where because they changed the S loader function and gas fees, their protocol stopped working. So
Is that
and
because it couldn't fit on one block, or is something else?
yeah, so kind of not exactly, but I don't remember exactly, but something like that. But yeah, protocols can break because of Ethereum upgrade, and there can always be day one bugs, or what you call day one attacks. So, and even like Pulsion is being upgraded. We saw it being upgraded like last week or so, so that it can prepare for the Ethereum, be comparable with Ethereum upgrades, compatible with the Ethereum upgrades. So don't worry, guys. Ethereum developers are working hard on making Pulsion better, and we will see those benefits trickle down. Which
Yeah, if they
and
can be
the
implemented, if they're not
yeah
being
the
if they're
and
not trying to sabotage for any billion-dollar reasons. I mean, oh yeah, just fork our chain and we're going to make it easy and compatible for you to update anything you want. We're not going to do anything that would make it incompatible. Like, as if we're
like
not competing. It's
Yeah.
just
yeah,
silly.
uh, but the uh, again, people like, everybody was talking about Hart's law, like, and I was one of the critics said like, yeah, Hart's law is like the Murphy's law. Like it's not a actual mathematical law. It's some philosophical law. Uh, yeah, but if you do believe in it, then pairing ehex with Ethereum while it is doing its bull run, and pairing ehex with hex on Pulse chain and Pulse chain and hex on Pulse chain with Pulse chain, everything will be pulled up. But no, no, we don't want ehex. The my simple theory is there were influencers who came to know about hex prior to Pulse chain launch. They bought up and held liquid for a long like so that they got a copy on Pulse chain, and then dumped both of them, and now they are justifying it dumping ehex because yeah, uh, we have to move from Pulse chain. But but have you noticed that ehex went down 60-70%? If everybody just wanted to move to Pulse chain, like we should have seen a bigger pump on PX, right?
Yeah.
People sold, that's it. Like, and I have
There's a lot
no
of people
problem.
that just left and sold into ETH. Like I was watching a wallet that like he had sold like 6 million EHEX and just went into ETH. And then I refreshed the page and the next day and he like made, I mean, ETH is up today. So he sold his EHEX for ETH and made like stupid money.
Yeah,
Nice.
like that's another thing. Like, yeah, all those charts regarding, yeah, we have done so many X's in the past few weeks. Like, why are you taking like selective screenshots? These are selective screenshots. Like, yeah, if you consider from the absolute bottom, like Bitcoin is multiple million x up, percent up. Like, you have to respect that. Yeah, and if you, I was seeing like if at Ethereum, like like even if you consider from the COVID dip, where I think how low did Bitcoin go? I think around 4,000 or 5,000, let's say, for a round figure. Yeah, so it's decently up against, and it didn't drop 95%. So if you held the Bitcoin at that price,
Yeah,
maybe you were bought that at that price, maybe you were better off.
I
So
know.
it's all. So my recommendation, like, yeah, with charts you can get a overview, but what really matters is your personal portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
uh, I think this is like therapy. Like, there is always there, this is a long-standing joke. Like, people, males with midlife crisis start a podcast. I am kind of feeling that, like that. But hey, I treat this like this is the only channel through which I can, like, I communicate with some of the people who are in the hex community, who still kind of respect me, or what, at least feel comfortable listening to me.
Yeah, it's not for
I
everyone,
was,
man.
yeah, I was going to sing. I did try and
The fucking golden mic back.
Yeah. On
Let's
that note,
go.
I think I'm done. It's over.
look, look. Uh,
It
by
can't
the
get
way,
any
like,
worse, can it?
Wait until you see the hex chart after he sings. The EX chart.
Oh no.
But by the way,
Amazing.
see, the last time I sung you was I think around December, which was kind of around the bottom of the bear market, I would say.
Hmm.
So yes,
Well,
the golden
right.
mic might be a indicator for the bull market. I am just saying, but there are, of course, I will keep guys updated on these live streams, and of course on the Hex Guild live streams, which are kind of difficult to for me. Like speaking at 2 a.m. Yeah, yeah. There is no flow in speaking. There is just a splatter kind of, like I said. Uh, but I do like that as well. So let's see. I'm going to try this out first. Let me mute myself. Oh, oh.
It's going down for real.
Oh, by the way, so the EICOSA price is 7 cents. I'm sorry. Yeah, the EICOSA price went to 7 cents. It dipped, and the Ethereum, the Pulse chain ICOSA is at 14 cents. So there is a
Yeah.
major opportunity for those who are accumulating that.
E-Hedron's half on than Pulse.
Yep, and you
Hedron?
can buy it on Pulse chain too. I mean, it's not like you have to go and buy it on the ETH chain.
Oh yeah.
Just, yep, there's plenty of liquidity to buy on it.
And you can use that for the auctions.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, people are just letting opportunities slip through their fingers. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
we just read the tweet. The guy's not changing it,
Yeah.
and yeah, whatever. It's all good. Can't hear you, D-Raj. Guys, I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
All right. I'm trying to see. I don't think I have P-Hedron on here. Can't hear you. He's running away. He's got to reset or something. Hopefully we don't crash. But I got to look up the old P-Hedron thing. Go to the old deck screener. Get the contract. Or you can go on Telegram. Can't not hear you, D. Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, yes. So I'm going to sing a little song. First, I wanted to sing Kumbaya, my love. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my love. Kumbaya.
Love it.
Namaste.
I was going to sing Indian devotional song, but I don't know why. One minute or so. पाहिजे सुंदर ध्यान ते सुंदर दिसते सुंदर सर्व काही त्याच्या दृष्टी पडते ही सृष्टी कृपेचीच वृष्टी करीतो देव युद्ध बिन जे कृत जीवनाचे युद्ध जिंकील ताणावे सत्वर जग हे नश्वर हवा ईश्वर Thank you.
Emotional damage.
I'm getting bull market vibes hard right now.
That was lovely. Thank you.
Lovely.
There is so for my English listener, I would like to sing a very upbeat song. Maybe because the bull market is on scene, which is giving me. Oh, give me a hope where the buffaloes roam and the is heard a discouraging word. Oh, oh, mother, is heard. I hope I am on my normal mic now.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Hey,
Yeah.
Alan, how do you find the p-hedron contract?
Yep. So for any interchangeable contracts like that, you want to go to Deck Screener and type out ICOSA from Ethereum, like literally type that out. And you do the same with Hedron from ICOSA. You type, Hedron from Ethereum. You type that out. So it'll give you, that contract's going to be the Ethereum contract of either one of those tokens that was bridged over to Pulse Chain. And if you want to find the regular, if you want to find the P version of it, you just type in, you can copy and paste the original Ethereum contract, and it'll populate as the copy on Pulse Chain. So you'll see the two price differences. I can post the contracts if you want on the private chat.
Yeah, because I've got one of them. And I don't even know which one it is. I've got one loaded.
I got you. Yeah, it's a little confusing for a lot of people. So here we go. I'll put it in. That's the ICOSA. I put it in private chat. ICOSA from Ethereum on the Pulse network. And Hedron from Ethereum. So those are the bridged over contracts. Put them in the private chat for you.
I'm going to see which one I have. I have one of them already loaded. I'm not sure which one it is.
So Dheeraj, I had a question for you.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed, not that I don't enjoy the Hexasian streams now. What happened with the core group? Were they just too busy kind of thing? They started doing other things?
Yeah, basically that. At least I was never informed regarding why they were like middle class working man. He had a incident where he was moving from cities, and his he had a huge loss. All his stuff was lost while moving by the movers.
Oh, wow.
So he stopped after that for a couple of days, but he never came back. I don't know why.
Gotcha.
Same with Vince and with Vince, like I don't know why and Uncle Kevin, like I don't know why the guys stopped. I always say that they got too rich to be streaming, but
Yeah.
I really don't know. But they were involved in the new token they launched. What's that?
B9.
B9,
Right.
B9. Yeah. So after
Okay.
that, we, as for Wales only, like he went back to his daytime job, so he can't join us on stream. He
Yeah.
did live stream
Yeah. He's been
during that.
streaming on his own. Wales does whale things.
Yeah, what was his take on EHEX and all this? I haven't watched that.
Oh
Last
yeah,
stream.
that's simple. Can we curse on this channel?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
You're a dumbass for selling. The hell are you doing? Don't you know what you hold? That's all I'm gonna say. Literally how he started his stream yesterday.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a great synopsis. I might go back and listen, but I'm glad.
It was a good one.
Who I listened to a Crypto 7 today, and he said basically like, yeah, sell everything for PHEX. Like,
Yeah.
good on you guys. Like, I'm glad we're all making this decision together.
Oh my god. Well, hey, you know what? To each their own. You know, if they end up being right, good on them.
You know what? Like Furu Finance too. If he ends up being right, like I'm just like not cut out for crypto. If he's the type of person that makes the right decisions in life in crypto, then I just should not even be participating in this. I need to get into a different game.
That's brutal. Yeah, I mean, with Furu, it was just my point of view was just the way he went about it was very arrogant, and to a lot of the people, at least for me, from everything that I had learned, it was like you should never, ever, ever do that, and especially in this ecosystem, because there are so many contrarian people in the Hex community. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's your opinion? Well, fine, go ahead and do it," and then bam, the thing leaves you behind, right? And at that point in time, even Richard himself was saying, like, don't take bets on which one's going to make it. There was a lot of uncertainty, and people were talking like it was a matter of fact. So I went into it personally going, and this is a gamble that I'm willing to take because it's the same product. They haven't changed the code. The only thing that sucks is the gas fee. So,
which might be resolved.
Which might be resolved, or maybe it isn't. Let's pretend that it isn't. It's still the same code. If you can afford to run that code, go ahead and run that code. If it's easier and you can afford it and you don't have to bridge into a chain in order to transact, then go ahead and run that code on your own. Like, it's up to the individual. Richard can't shut down the code, according to him, right? I'm not a coder. I'm not a developer.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a way to shut it down. I don't know. And the best way that he could, sort of convince people is like, I'm not keen on it. I think this one's better. And that's as much as he can do to stop people to actually using that side of it. So, but yeah, if those people end up being right, man, good for them. I have my free copies.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would definitely not be crying at all if either hexes went to $1. So I'm going to be very happy if that happens this bull run, regardless. So, but at the same time, fuck that. Like,
of course,
these fuckers that have just been so just like, oh yeah, sell everything for Pulse Chain. Like, they're obviously biased for some reason, and that's usually because they didn't make the original good decision of staking
right
at the beginning.
Exactly.
So they're not in. They came in later, and they were more liquid, so they're able to say and do that stuff. But people, the people that have been here the longest have been staked the longest and are going to be around the longest. And it's like, oh yeah, you're going to trust these people that just came up acting so confident? It's like,
Yeah. That's the question a lot of people weren't asking. Why were you able to swap your EHEX for your PHEX? Because you weren't fucking staked.
Yeah,
to begin
exactly.
So-
And they were gassing that up like it's just, oh yeah, this makes all the sense in the world.
with. So, it's going to play out how it's going to play out. I just hope I'm on the winning side of this. And that's all I really want.
Yeah, if you got a staking ladder, yeah, I mean, that's seems to be the only smart thing you can do in this, because the volatility will wreck anybody.
That's exactly what he said. Dumb fucks don't understand what they're holding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my exact take on it. It's like, you got to know what you have. You know, whether it's a shit coin or it's gold, you got to know what you have in your hands. And if you don't know how to act with what you have, then you're not going to make it.
Yeah, and this washing out of other than BankX, whatever, and then all that theatrics is, questionable of who even BankX is and what their intentions are and what all this, like, oh yeah, these people aren't on the same side or on the same page. They just made $1 million dealings with each other without knowing each other, and they're gonna hurt the price. And like, it's like, oh yeah, I don't know. It seems kind of silly that like the God Whale, whoever that is, like gave all this money to Bank X, and like he just doesn't know what he's gonna do with it, and just whatever, no big deal.
Yeah, this too shall pass.
Yeah,
I am worried.
But on the same note, like, why, like, yeah, I get it why, like, BankX is allegedly a scam. They are not doing anything actually, but even if a scammer gets those, how much, for, let's say, for at the price they have put in, like 4 million, let's say, yeah, they get 4 millions, they get out of the system, move on. Like, what's the problem with that? It's just that people don't want to, like, they want to sell higher than them. That's the only issue that they have, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, it's so it would have been okay if 1,000 other people had the same amount of liquidity at that price. It wasn't just BankX. Let's say somehow, like, a group of shrimp put together 4 million, and there was this sell wall. Then what would you have done? It's
And
it's it's everybody like worships their bag, and it's
yeah, and people forget that liquidity pools are people who are liquid in that token, and they can pull the liquidity at any time and sell.
And so, you can't do shit about
it. Exactly. It is what it is. It's the way that it works. So, like it or don't like it, or get the fuck out.
Speaking of liquidity and order books, it looks like there's to buy p-hedron on PulseX. There's like super, I don't know what it's liquid with, because there's super slippage with eHex and Pulse. If you want to buy p-hedron on PulseX, you can't really do it. I mean, you're gonna eat a shit ton of slippage. I don't know.
Let's see. At least on PulseX, you have 126,000 in liquidity pool for Hex and Hedron. And you have another 86,000 with icosahedron. And I think there's the PHUX exchange. They have a lot more liquidity on their end, but it doesn't show up on Text Screener. Yeah. I don't use it, but
yeah, I haven't
some
used
people do.
PX or PHX, whatever the fucks you said.
Yeah. PHX, yeah. I'm not a fan, but they're there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just there's no liquidity for p-hedron on PulseX. I don't know.
Yeah, you could potentially use Piteus as well, .io, and it'll aggregate PHUX as well, 9-inch and PulseX.
yeah. See,
But
now
yeah,
because you are talking about Hedron, like I will continue my rant that yes, it's like what you say. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yes, in theory, Hedron was supposed to help Pulse Price and even those pooled stakes, but they haven't really done anything. It's like when
Hedron's
people
been
have
helping my position. It's been
like
helping my bags.
yeah, but the hex price it's like at individual levels, a few big whales have definitely profited because they were able to buy up those what do you call HSIs in auctions. I was able to get a small one for myself, but like when there is an option to buy staked hex directly, then people don't buy hex. So it again, what you call the economic energy is diversified. You need to concentrate it on your token. Like yeah, whatever. Like people are going to buy what they want to buy.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we have been going on for almost 2 hours. Alan, thank you for joining.
yeah. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, I love these open
This is an open,
links.
huh?
I love the open StreamYard links because it's all allegedly. You don't know who's clicking what links or who's using what voice modulars. Like Richard could pop in.
That's right. It could be anywhere.
He's already uploaded his consciousness to the AI data frame cloud, so he's already.
I learned a new word like last week. Delulu. Do you know
What?
Delulu?
What the,
Delulu.
is that a turkey?
It's no. It's like Gen Z or Gen Alpha speak for delusion.
Ah.
So I have a Delulu that Richard Hart does listen to these streams, and that is why he took personal revenge by like I think I'm the only one who kind of brings up this EX chart the most. So he took personal revenge by
Yeah, he
going
wants to.
against
He wants to smack us contrarians. He's like, listen to me, guys. Buy what I tell you to buy. I'm your daddy. So anyone that says anything slightly skewed from what he thinks is absolute, it's like, oh, I'm going to give you a spanking.
Thanks. Like speaking of contrarian, like he was talking about the money that was like burned as Ethereum gas that could have helped Pulse chain. Like there are a lot of things that burned gas. You know those big cars we saw, as well as watches. We could say that what if that was burned for buying Pulse chain?
Yeah, no shit. Now that the SAC address is fucking buying up anything, it's like, okay, well, if you want to consolidate buys so much, sell everything and buy your fucking token.
Like again, yeah. Anyways,
Gotta love it.
It was nice talking to you guys. I will end this live stream. Should I play Kacha Badam?
Badam, yes. That's my favorite. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go. See you guys next week. Hope
Take it and go.
I badana se palo mata churi mala diye mobile body bhanga diye badam mobile body gulo pasi te kadam tat saman badam padam I badana se palo mata churi mala diye mobile body bhanga diye badam mobile body gulo pasi te kadam tat saman badam padam badam badam ta kacha badam amaga ti nai ko
take it and go.